Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Behind the Lens with Carole and myself, Prash, where we, as always, strive to bring you timely, topical insights in a box. So, today we want to talk about a subject that follows on from a recent episode. Furloughed, but not forgotten. I'll say that again. Furloughed, but not forgotten. Does that strike a chord with any of you tuning into this? See, a lot of people out there are still furloughed, and as leaders, as employers, you will no doubt have felt the sting and the challenges that come with having staff furloughed. And the thing is that it still feels like many of these staff want to log on, pick up their email, violating company regulations sometimes, just because they feel the need to stay connected. So for this episode, we're going to be looking at the very real issue of how companies should be keeping in touch with said furloughed employees. So, Carole, what do we have?
Well, it's an interesting subject and very, very topical, because a lot of employees who are furloughed, they're still working from home. And the fact is that you mentioned about them, working, still picking up their email. A part of that is because they want to. I mean, we said last time that it's because they've actually going to have an awful lot to do when they go back to work. But actually, there's a part of wanting to be connected. The most important thing for people is just exactly as you said, it is furloughed but not forgotten. We don't want people to feel isolated. We don't want them to think that they're out of sight and out of mind. And so what we need to do is to make sure that they are motivated and that they're engaged. And this is a real issue for HR and management alike.
If we're going to be in this situation, and I don't see this situation changing anytime soon, what would be some good strategies that people can employ just straight off the get-go to start to make this more easier for all concerned?
Okay, well, firstly, for the management to remember that they've got two disparate groups. They've got two separate groups of people who are their team. They have those who are furloughed and those who are not furloughed. So therefore, sending out the same email to both those groups is not right. So therefore, it's to take into consideration exactly what you're writing to the people who are furloughed and what you're writing to the people who are actually working. So that's first of all. Secondly, is to be aware of the mental health support that they may well be needing, the people who are furloughed, because they may be feeling undervalued, and so therefore maybe they want another task to do. You may not be able to give them any work tasks to do, but maybe come up with something like a challenge. I don't know, it could be a physical challenge, it could be doing something for a charity, it could be a podcast. What you want to do is to make sure you make that person feel valued and worthwhile. And third of all, to actually increase their skill set, because it could be something that they become even more of a valuable resource to you as the business if you increase that person's skill set and actually make them more resourceful than ever.
Excellent. And you've just kind of nicely overlapped and segued into some of the ones that I wanted to share right back. And folks, so let me just add those in. Firstly, taking on what Carole just said there, encouraging self-learning, encouraging an investment in self-learning can be a very powerful tool. I have a client right now working out in Australia who has taken their staff the next level. Those furloughed staff that they have just been awarded 100 Aussie dollars. Just a flat fee of 100 Aussie dollars, and I don't know whether it's per month or not, but essentially what my client's done is just awarded those furloughed staff an amount to be invested in learning with, in this case, the platform Udemy. And so they're able to use it and spend it on whatever course that they want. And again, it goes back to what you said, is to encourage self-development and soft skills and other vocational training that can be both beneficial for the furloughed employee as well as for the organization when they're back. Secondly, talk to staff about volunteering. Again, it nicely follows on from what you said. There are a lot of volunteering bodies out there. And here's the thing, folks, and this is really coming from a well-being mindset perspective. It can really improve our mental health if we have that opportunity to volunteer. I think we've all had that experience, whether we've volunteered at some stage through our work or through our personal lives. So providing furloughed employees with a credible source or the credible momentum to be able to go and engage in voluntary activities, perhaps through the CSR scheme and the contacts that you have as your organization, or through other chat or other avenues. There are local and national volunteering bodies and charities where information like this can be sought. I think that's a powerful thing to help those who are more vulnerable than us, and it really empowers us if we were furloughed. Thirdly, I just want to encourage, of course, and I think you alluded to it, taking advantage of any EAPs, any employee assistance programs that you may be offering. Ensure that employees do have access to that, including furloughed employees, who would then also be able to take advantage of services such as counselling, which are typically featured and offered during those programs. That's my lot there. Carole, any final words?
I think my final word on that is that it's very important to maintain a sense of purpose and identity. Because what happens so quickly is that the person, when they're furloughed, may lose that sense of identity. And it's up to everybody in the organization to take that into consideration and make sure that person feels valued, worthwhile, and still has that sense of purpose.
Excellent. Thank you, Carole. I think that's all for us for here, folks. Please, as always, do let us know your ideas and insights in this particular subject or any of our subjects at Behind the Lens. We'd love to hear from you, have your input, any questions, drop them down here. We also have the link where you can see all the other backlog of episodes for your pleasure and at your own convenience. They're all bite-sized. They all bring timely topical wisdom, as always. That's it from me, Prash.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.